Hello, everybody.
Hi,
This is Karen.
and this is Mae, and we are from
Boomers to Gen Z. Sorry, I suddenly go off. So we're going to talk about keeping romances alive because when you have been married as long as I have, it's you have to keep romance going, right?
Mhm.
So don't go away.
So, Karen, I've just finished my third-year anniversary, and that felt like long. It felt like an achievement. But you've been married for 30 years, like 31 years. And we talk about the 7-year cycle, right?
Right.
You've had multiple.
I have had multiple for sure.
So how do you keep it going? Because I think you can be in a long marriage, that's one thing. But how do you stay connected throughout a long marriage?
I think the key thing is having a good conversation with each other. I always tell young married people never threaten in an argument and say never ever threaten. I find that again I'm generalizing. It is hard work to keep a relationship. I'm not going to mean so it takes effort from both parties. And the problem I see today is that people want easy way out. And the easy way out is, okay, I'm not happy, let's divorce. So I feel that is not the way to build healthy relationships. Don't get me wrong, we've been married 31 years. Yes, we've had also arguments and irritations and whatnot. And we do have our share of argument. I'm not going to say we are hunky-dory all the time. But we truly find time connecting by doing the things that we love. So,
Example?
like, we love to explore food places, for instance. So we make time to do, and although it may not be what I like, I also, kind of compensate and meet halfway and do something that he likes, or vice versa. I know we give and take on things. You can't have everything your way too. But especially when I want to share with you where a lot of women who stayed home for the children and then the husbands go off to work and you are home. Now, the problem I felt when I was doing that a little while where I was more a stay-at-home mom, I felt that I couldn't contribute in a conversation that was intelligent because he would have done his job and he's meeting everyone, high flying, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes home and I'm talking about, how the children was a mess and then cooking and something that I felt was very mundane and boring. One thing I felt was very important is try to understand his world. Asking those questions, how was your day? Who are you meeting? Try not to bring the children into the conversation because when you have your couple time, try to be truly interested about each other for that moment. I mean, I'm not saying you can't talk about children at all, but it's good to know, what are you feeling? How come you didn't get that promotion? Do you know why? That kind of thing. Be present. Don't have your phone with you because at the end of the day, when you have the phone with you, it's just. So I'm going to show you. I saw this on a YouTube where the speaker, I forgot his name, but he's a renowned speaker and he teaches leaders how to connect with others. Now, if I were to take my phone right now, even if I'm not using it, I'm not calling, I'm not texting, the impression you get is I'm not here, I'm not present, I'm not focusing on our podcast or to me at this point in time. Put this damn thing away and just stop. Nothing is more important than building that relationship. I say this for especially younger ladies who are in their 30s, in their 40s, where you're busy with work, you're busy with young children, and you may be very disconnected with your husband, and you are probably going perimenopause and you don't even realize it. And you're grouchy and you're grumpy and you know that kind of thing. It's not just the stress, it is also your body. Now what happens is you got to let go for a while and be with your husband, understand and have those conversations with him, because I promise you, the day where you both kind of retire, you will suddenly find you have nothing in common. And that is a scary fact.
Okay.
So my story is with my husband. My husband is retired. We spend a lot of time together. But the beauty is we have so much to talk about. We laugh a lot. We joke with each other. We kind of stab at each other with silly stuff and all that. And it's a very and easy-going kind of relationship. And I think that stems when you are friends, and then you have something that you are in common. He has his own activity with his charity groups and stuff like that, which I don't have time to be involved, but I do ask him. And so when we have dinners, I will actually ask about, what is he doing, and, getting that interest back, because that is what a relationship is.
I really like that part where you said about being friends. So like mine is very short compared to yours, divided by 10 to be exact. The one thing that really makes me feel very happy and secure in my current relationship is our ability to play. We might not have like a lot of like romantic moments, but we play with each other a lot. Like I could be like from simple things from like watering the plants to watering him. Like we do these things, and it's not just like once in a blue moon. Like it's kind of all the time. We put on like silly accents when we talk in the car, and like we're just constantly like playing. So even when things get really hard, we're able to like break through with it, to a point that even like my son finds it so funny all the time. He's like, "Oh my goodness, mama and bro," always laughing. And it really helps us get through, because I guess when you're connected to know that like you can really make each other happy, like just raw pure happiness, even when things get really hard, like it's just to bury my face in his shoulder and just like cry. It's like this level of comfort that like, like this is the only person I want to get through with. And it doesn't always have to be so like cutesy and like romantic, but it can just honestly be like, I'm there for you. Like
Exactly.
like we got this. Like Bonnie and Clyde without all the vulgarity.
Because the romantic part of it, in truth, only exists in the beginning, as they call it, the honeymoon stage and all those things. But the friendship, and that you have, like, if you can not take each other too seriously, you can laugh. I think, that's the thing that I feel made us stronger over the years. We also make very conscious effort, even when they were little, where we would have couples night and go out and do different things, even sometimes just walking in a park. You don't have to do extravagant. Maybe you can do this with your husband, which is after dinner, let the kids tidy up the place, and you and your husband go for a walk. So you get exercise, you get some time with your husband, you can vent, and sometimes you don't need to talk. You could be just present for each other without your phone.
And it's always nice to like kind of know each other's like love languages as well. So I think that's a recent conversation we had, which was like, I realized that my partner's love language is actually acts of service. So that's how he shows love. And I just didn't get it. So there was this one day that I was like rushing to get my flight sorted because I had a last minute flight to KL. And then he was like, "Oh, okay, sweet. Like I'll book it. I'll get it sorted for you." And then he's like, "Oh, but do you need AirPods?" And I was just like, "Can you focus? Like we need to book this flight." But that's his love language, and mine is words of affirmation. So I'm very like, I say very sweet stuff. And sometimes then I would just feel like he doesn't love me, because what I am expecting is like quality time. Like I'm expecting a different language, but he's speaking the love language, is not mine. So when I started to tune into that, it made me feel a lot more whole as well.
I love you brought this up, because I had a podcast with Yvonne Hui from Love Wings, and we talked about love languages. And it's so true, because different people have different ways of expressing. So like yourself, you would express it verbally. And then with your partner, he doesn't express so much, but he does things for you, right? So I'm the reverse. I would do things, and my husband is very verbal and very affectionate in that way. When you realize that, then you know that, hey, he does care. It's just that his way of showing is different than what you are expecting. So especially Chinese men generally, they are not very good at verbalizing it. So most of them will just say buy food. Okay, I give you money.
Yeah.
That's probably their way of showing. But so it takes you and him to come to something and say, okay, you can verbalize it. Say, oh, it would be nice if you organize this, and that kind of thing. I think it is how you say it that can make that relationship really stunning and long duration, because
Yeah.
it is not easy to have a 30-over-year relationship, and you do go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and then we take time to share with each other what I want, I will verbalize it, and what he wants, he will verbalize it.
Which I think is good. Like no more like trying to guess what's going
You
on.
you can't guess, and it's you may guess it wrong.
Yeah, and
It
then the
makes
other
it
person
worse.
gets even more angry.
Yeah, and then when I was going through my menopause and all those things, and I did share with him, what I felt was the most important is you need to know the situation yourself first. When you know enough and educate yourself enough, then you can verbalize it to your partner so that they can understand. They don't want to understand, but they don't know what is the problem. They have no idea what is the issue you're facing. So women who are going through perimenopause, and if you are struggling with your mood swing, please, please, please join us at Women in Midlife, and there will be education. We give out tips of how to handle things emotionally so that you can share and talk to your husband and have a better transition with his help. Did you know that 76% of divorced women actually blame menopause for their divorces? It's very, very sad. So, we don't have to be that. And of course, the intimacy portion as well, we need to look at intimacy in other manners. It could be a touch, a hug, holding hands,
Washing the dishes together.
exactly. Those are the things that you can reconnect with your spouse or partner, and find long, happy relationships. This is not exciting per se, but it is needed because I want to see more healthy relationships in our society. And to the young people, please, romance is great, but it is about if you start communicating and putting yourself to each other's shoes and understanding each other, that will give each other a much better, for you to have a stronger foundation in any relationship.
I agree.
That's it from us today. Please like, follow, and give us any comment. If you have more tips about long, healthy relationships, do share with us.
This is just our opinions. We're just having fun. We're sharing from our own experiences, but we want to hear from you. So make sure you comment and share the podcast with your friends so we can keep doing this. Speak to you next week.